Kaiser Wilhelm II is filled with a childlike happiness. He finally gets to have his battleship squadrons, his dreadnought ships that he's dreamt of, to compete against his cousin in England. His great battleship squadrons can roam across the North Sea, threatening the opponent's ships on all the waters. And in the meantime, unfortunately, his land forces suffer underneath the fact that they have not been given any extra resources to conduct the war effort. Although the German Empire is rolling high on the seas with a mighty battle fleet, as well as some transports to threaten the British Islands and to threaten conquest of French territory, the land forces muddle through deep in their trenches as they struggle for dominance on the Western theater. The German Empire, all in all, is doing well enough. It lost its capital in London, but it gained a capital through Austrian assistance in Moscow, meaning that now we can engage our warfare with a little bit extra income under our belts. By our calculations, we could be wrong in this one, but our resources outproduce the Entente by a margin of equivalent of one battleship a turn, and that is not a bad thing to have. Welcome all to Operation Schlieffen. We are playing as Germany right now, progressing straight through from the Austrian turn straight to these guys, and so let's dive right into their turn. We have 57 bucks to spend. With that, we're spending on 5 infantry, on 1 fighter, 2 tanks, and 2 battleships. That gives us kind of a well-rounded force across all arms of the service: air, sea, and land. Hopefully everybody's satisfied. Let's dive into the turn. We've had a bit of a preamble from the Austrian turn, so let's go straight to these guys. So we are going to attack this fleet in Sea Zone 9 with our 5 battleships. Of course, we'll have to brave the minefield, but by our calculations, we should have a chance of maybe 1 hit, hopefully. We're going to send these transports in there as well. We're going to load them up with 5 infantry and 3 tanks on these 4 ships and come into the Sea Zone as well. And if we're successful and all of our ships survive, we hope to make a landing someplace in some enemy coastline somewhere. We're going to make an attack into Belgium with 2 artillery, 6 infantry, and a fighter. Yeah. And that should do it. From Kiel to Holland, 6 infantry, and from Berlin to Kiel, 2 infantry. Now, we are also going to make a ground attack to try to liberate the mountainous territory of Switzerland. Not where we're playing with mountains, with everything in Lorraine minus 1 infantry, just to make it a little bit more difficult. Everything's coming into Switzerland, so that is something to the tune of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 20, let's see, 10, 20, 28 infantry, 11 artillery, and 3 fighters going into that sea zone. What did we lose there? That must be the artillery right there. My big old hands get in the way. We also have 3 infantry here participating in the fight. Now on the other shoreline, on the eastern front, we are going to move some forces up here, because our thinking is, if we do end up losing the east, we don't want to capture Russia and move all our troops out of there, and then have the Americans or the British come in here and recapture our territory. So we're moving some resources up here to Karelia, as well as 2 infantry from Livonia to Karelia as well, to engage those forces there. From Livonia southwards, we're sending in to Poland 1 infantry, and this fighter's going to come in as well, since the fighters can be quite a bit more useful in other parts of the world, as opposed to just hanging out waiting in up north in Karelia. And that is it. So let's do our naval battle first. We have 5 battleship mine rolls to roll, and they all should be roughly the same. 1 hit. So that is kind of statistically where we expect it to be. Hi. Hi, kiddos. Okay, shh. I'm doing a video. Okay, and now I'm going to do 3 dice for the transports, and these 3 dice are the ones that have an armor unit on them. So, as you can see here, those are all 2s. So those ones miss out. And I get to roll 1 more dice here for a transport at a 1 or less. And it's also a 2. So a lot of 2s, but only 1 battleship damaged. There we have it. And now we get to engage the rest of the fleet. Thank you, Kim. Shh. Marker for me. Thank you. Shh. Sorry about this, guys. I try to do this in the nighttime or when they're napping. But let's go on to the battle. So we have 5 battleships rolling, and there's 1 cruiser defending. So here's 5 at 4. with 2 hits, 3 hits. And the enemy cruiser rolling scores a hit as well. So that's, we take off 2 transports and this cruiser, and we get to damage another one of our ships. I don't actually, there we have it. Here we go. Okay, let me just pause this for a second. Sorry about that, I know that's unprofessional, but anyways, let's move on with that. So we are going to make a landing with these, and these guys are going to all land in Belgium. I think that's the best course of action for us right now. In Belgium, and yeah, just Belgium. So that is a considerable attack going there. There's only 2 units defending. Let's see if they, well, even if they score a hit, our 3 tanks will fend them off, but just for sanity, there's 2 hits for them. And now we're going to roll for our attacks. 2 artillery and 2 infantry attacking, and a fighter. So the 2 artillery with a fighter, so that's 1 hit. And then 2 infantry supported, 1 hit. Let's roll for the fighter, miss. And I don't know, the rest of it, here's three tanks. There's 1 more hit. I think 3 hits, overhits as an overshot should be sufficient, but let's roll for 6 infantry. And there's 2 more hits. All right, that should be sufficient. So we've absorbed the 2 hits and made our landing here in Belgium, capturing $2 of income. $2 of income from the French, dropping them down to 25, and Germany goes up to 53. All right. Now we're going to place these guys over here. Perfect. Okay, and these all sit in this C zone right here. Okay, moving on to the Switzerland theater. So we have in defense, we have 1 American unit, 1 American artillery, 2 American infantry, 2 more French infantry, and on the attack we have 11 artillery attacking. So we're going to roll for our attacking infantry first. 4, 5, 11 out of 4, because that gives us the best chance at victory here. 11 out of 4, 1, 2, 3. Under hit by a good chunk. It's very, yeah, look at all those 6s. So that's our 11 infantry. Now here is our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 infantry supported at 3. Okay, and that is enough to wipe out the defensive units there. There's 1 more hit here, but that's enough to wipe them out. Now in defense, all their units are rolling at 3s. And they scored, oops. They scored a 5, a 4, and a 2. So 1 hit. 1 hit is what they scored. So we're going to take off all their units here. 2 American with an artillery and 2 French. And I know it's a very insignificant attack. Did I say I'm leaving 1 infantry behind? I believe I did. That was my intention anyways. Very insignificant income gain, but nonetheless, that's what we have. So we've captured Switzerland, giving us a +1, so we're at 54. All right. Now we go to place unit phase. And so we put our 2 battleships up here in C Zone 10. And of course, the rest of it must go into Berlin. There we have it. Okay, all. Thank you all for watching. Oh, for income, just for the sake of everybody's mind, we are collecting 54 bucks. I think last time we had a bit more because we held on to Picardy and Lorraine and London. So that's why we were up a little bit more. But I believe it's 54, plus we had Italian, or we had Southwest Africa of Germany, so 54. So less than we had last time. But again, I will double check the income at the end of this turn too, just to make sure I have it all. But I think it's 54. Cheers!